China didn't report 43,000 silent carriers.
Here's a summary of the article.
A Hong Kong newspaper says China's government excluded from its statistics about one-third of people who tested positive for the new coronavirus but showed no symptoms. The South China Morning Post reported on Monday that classified government data it obtained show that more than 43,000 so-called silent carriers were not counted in the number of confirmed cases by the end of February. China reported around 79,000 confirmed cases as of the end of last month. The paper said that when silent carriers are taken into account, the number of infected people on the mainland exceeds 120,000. Chinese health authorities said on February 14 that people who were infected but showed no symptoms would be quarantined and monitored for 2 weeks, but not counted as coronavirus patients. The authorities also said they would not disclose the number of silent carriers in the country.
This post received a score of 22,944, with an upvote ratio of 93%. Here are the top comments in response to this article.
All I'm hearing from this is that 1 in 3 people don't get symptoms.
Yes, and a significant majority don't develop serious enough symptoms to justify concern on their own behalf.
All of my symptoms matched, but by the time I realized, I was too healthy to warrant contacting the doctor, going through the trouble of making it to the hospital, etc. I was of course self-quarantined the entire time and continue to be. I think I was in the same situation. Just had a very strange illness. The worst day of it I freaked out and told myself I would go in the morning to get tested. When I woke up my fever was already near normal and didn't meet the qualifications for a test. I'll never know.
Maybe in the near future an antibody test will become available, that way you can see if you had a previous cleared infection.
News on BBC Radio 4 just talked about an antibody test, so will be likely at some point, especially if it would have an effect to any vaccination program.
As far as I'm aware, they are currently creating UPT to 25,000 new antibody tests daily to distribute for home recognition.
This would be huge news. China should test the entire population of Wuhan. This would give us the data we need to understand the virus. The CCP won't do that and sure as shit wouldn't send the results to the world. Plus, at this point, who in their right mind would trust anything that comes from the CCP?
The next question is, how many deaths were incorrectly reported?
When hospitals are overloaded, it is impossible to get accurate numbers of confirmed cases. Because many patients died at home, they were not tested at all. Early Wuhan and now Italy are the same.
Plus, you have to consider the people who died of other causes because the hospitals are overloaded and they were not able to get prompt care. I don't know if Italy reports those, and I'm sure we'll never know the full extent of deaths in China from this outbreak.
I doubt anyone reports that. It would be incredibly hard to measure and even label.
Nah, they could just compare it to previous trends and then compare it to the predicted deaths for this year. It wouldn't be 100% accurate, but it gives a good estimation, and that kind of analysis is used all the time.
Aren't most countries vastly underreporting asymptomatic cases?
Yes, I'd say so. Here in Ireland you can only be tested if you have symptoms. The asymptomatic cases are by definition not monitored.
In Australia, even if you have symptoms, they're only testing if you've travelled recently or been in direct contact with a confirmed case. Grinning face with sweat.
This video was automatically created by Reddit to speech. The article and comments in this video were selected from Reddit according to their upvotes, and any paraphrasing was performed by smmry.com, without any human intervention.